Alrighty, guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are here for My Hero Academia, episode 7 of season 4. It's also episode 70 of the entire series. I am late uploading this video. Apologies if you guys didn't see my little update video I posted. I was sick. I had a really bad sore throat. I wasn't feeling good. I was not feeling up to recording at all, so I didn't, but I'm here to make it up. Even though this isn't the day I usually release this show, I want to be able to get back on track so that way next week we can be back to, watching it while it airs together, essentially. So I'm still a little bit coming back from the sickness. You might be able to hear it in my voice, I'm not sure. I can definitely feel it, in my lungs. I can, I'm a bit sniffly, so if I'm sniffling through the video, apologies for that, as well as clearing my throat here and there, but it shouldn't be too bad. I sat here most of the day and I was like, yeah, I think I'm good enough to record. So, yeah, guys, last episode we had the big talks, the big exposition episode, but it was fantastic. I loved it because they made it so intense. They did it so well that I was, pretty much at the edge of my seat through the whole thing. We had basically a bunch of heroes from a bunch of local areas where there's Shie, Hisai, Kai, I probably said that wrong, not headquarters, but little outposts, and they're going to have all these smaller heroes that can blend in, go and investigate those. We had the reveal to everybody else, which is what we suspected, and pretty much confirmed our theory that it's most likely Eri that is providing the drug that destroys quirks, as they worded it. So everybody knows about that now. We had, Midoriya and Mirio getting a bit depressed because of all that, and also we had the whole conversation about what's his name? Night Eye using his quirk to predict the futures of the people going out in the field, and we learned the limitation of one day and stuff like that, but he still didn't want to use it, mainly because he's scarred about seeing, a gruesome death in All Might's future. He doesn't want to have that, as a burden, as a crutch for him, so it's definitely a flaw that he has, so very interesting stuff. And we got a little after credit scene with Eri that was very, very sad and made me tear up. If it went on any longer, I would have been crying, no joke. But yeah, guys, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what happens this episode. Are they gonna be looking for the hideout and just kind of kids doing school stuff while they're searching, or are we gonna skip right to where they find the hideout and this siege begins? I have no idea, so let's jump into it and find out. Alrighty, guys, so like usual, down in the description there's going to be a Vimeo link. You guys can click that. It'll bring you directly to the reaction, and then you can come back here for the discussion portion. Alright, guys, so go ahead and click that Vimeo link right now. That is the end of episode 7, guys. Wow, that was a good episode. It was definitely a lot of prepping and planning. Once again, we got a little bit of action there in the beginning. There in the end. But it was just, I was saying it a little bit during the outro for those of you that were at full length. The episode was just so tense, and not just for us, but for the characters. And I think that's one of the things that really made this episode shine. Just the weight that was on the characters was so perfectly expressed. Midoriya just tearing up from the support of his friends while he's, in this moment of just the waiting, the anxiety, the just wanting to save her and everything, and then he's unable to talk about it, he's unable to vent what's going on except to, the few other people that know, but they have the problems too, so you don't really want to vent to someone that has the same problem, so you're just going to make them feel shitty too, So he just, can't talk about it, and then, Ida was just being so awesome and everything, and he just started tearing up. You could just feel that weight on them, the expressions on their faces whenever it panned to the characters in school and doing the rock climbing and stuff like that. It was just, they did such a good job like reeling me into like feeling like they were, and it was fantastic. It was just so well done. Uh, oh man. But yeah, so we had a little montage of the people looking around, crossing off all like the hideouts and everything, and they definitely sped it along with the searching. They didn't dilly dally with it, And then Night Eye caught the guy buying the toys, went in, friggin' was ballsy enough to go up to the guy, touch him on the shoulder, and look at him. Granted, he couldn't see the guy's eyes because of his hair, but I guess it still worked. I don't know like how exactly that works, but but man, that was good. So he was able to see that guy's future. So I wonder if he learned anything else about the fate of this mission based off what he saw of that guy's future. Because either because it's a weird thought. Because if sorry, I thought this. What the heck? Feels like there's something on my foot. Sorry. It's a weird thought because either there's nothing in that guy's future that spoiled Night Eye on what's going on, or he's hoping to change the future. Because you'd think if he was able to see 6 years into this guy's future, if that guy saw Eri at any other point after this, then we'd know that this failed, But I don't know. It's kind of a tough call because that guy could be like, Overhaul might find out it was him, and then that guy gets removed or killed or whatever, It could be something like that, and so it's not the end all be all with his foresight. So it's probably something like that, This guy is gonna either die in this fight, get arrested, so he has no idea what happens to Eri, and all that. So something like that, But yeah, that was just really cool, really ballsy of Night Eye to go up to him like that and everything. So I did not expect that to happen. But damn. So what else? I know there's more to talk about in the episode other than like the big stuff that happened at the end. I'm just trying to think about like little moments, all the stuff with Eraserhead is so good because he's both criticizing the kids and saying they're not quite good enough to be here, but also letting them be here. So it's a very interesting thing how his motivation is to remind you that you're not this, infallible hero that can never be defeated. They need to know that they're outclassed here, and that's going to make them more careful. He can't let their egos or anything go to their heads, so that's going to be that's just like a really interesting way that he mentors them, and I still feel like it's like not only is it helping them, but it seems like it could hurt them too in some ways, but it doesn't. And I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I really like the way that Eraserhead handles the kids. So yeah. At first, when this episode was first going and we saw like the rock climbing stuff, I thought it was gonna be them like pushing themselves, training, trying to, get any extra strength that they possibly can before this goes down. But it really wasn't that. It was really, that tense scene at the beginning, I misread from them just being, maybe they were a tiny bit more like gung-ho to train than the others, but I think it was just the other kids noticing the tension between, the work-study kids and not. But we also haven't seen anything about Tokoyami, so either they're just avoiding his story, or his story is going to somehow tie in later on. But we haven't seen him. I don't think I've seen him at all in school. Maybe he's in the background and I just didn't notice, but and we haven't seen what he's been doing at his stuff and everything. So I don't know. It'd be cool to see him come in with that Hawks guy, but it might just be too much going on that they can't fit him into the story without it just feeling like filler, So anyways, it's interesting that they didn't get any bigger heroes to come in for this, but I guess, like, Overhaul isn't on the scale of being, like, a enormous, like, threat yet, I guess, maybe? Like, I don't know if he's on the level of what something like Endeavor or any of like the top 10 heroes would need to come in for, you know? Like just rescuing a kid from a hideout when they already have this like good plan secured and everything. So I don't know. I obviously could be wrong, but I also was Night Eye there. Was he charging in at the end? I can't remember if I saw him or not. Is he going to be going in and fighting too? Because obviously his quirk isn't exactly like combat, but I mean there's cops too, so he definitely can go in. I'm sure he's trained hand to hand and stuff like that. So skip through, see if I can get a glimpse of him anywhere. I'm not seeing him at the entrance. Oh, he is there. Okay. Yeah, he was behind like the riot shielders and stuff. He was with like the lead cop guy when they were running in with the yeah, they were running in with the warrant. And then the dude with the needles, yeah, he was right there. So yeah, he's rushing in ahead with everybody. I mean, like I said, I'm sure he's good with hand to hand and stuff like that. So yeah. But then that bit at the end, you know, I'm surprised we got to see what we did because I could tell the episode was going on for a bit, and I could tell that I could tell that we were going to get an ending anytime soon. I thought it was gonna cliffhanger at like them showing up at the house and then it ends, you know? But then it just kept going, so we got to see a little bit. They didn't leave us completely hanging, which I guess is good, you know? But next episode is definitely gonna be, you know, crazy, I'm sure. I cannot wait for that. And luckily, the good thing about being sick is I didn't watch this until today, which is, you know, Tuesday. I guess technically it's past midnight when I'm recording right now, so technically it's Wednesday right now, but I haven't slept yet for the night, so really it's Tuesday in my eyes. But that just means there's, you know, only a few more days until I get to watch the next episode, but yeah, that Dragoon hero can turn into like a dragon type thing. It looks very strange and very weird. It was almost like her face almost looked like anteater-ish, it reminded me of a little bit. But she had like wings and her legs like turned very dragon-like and stuff like that. She got a big tail and everything. I wonder if she can like breathe fire or if she's just stronger or how like what other features of a dragon she has. Can she literally fly with those wings? That'd be kind of cool. I really want to know more about her power, but given the chaotic nature of these fights, I'm not sure how much we're gonna get of each character's. I liked earlier in the episode we saw what was it, Rocklock or something? He's able to freeze things in air, and he's like a platforming hero. He can, you know, freezes, like, he threw it, froze it while it was moving, jumped off it, and the pushback didn't, like, he, like, nullified the gravity in it or something. I don't know what that would be, what, like, the scientific term for that would be, but even him kicking off it didn't cause it to, like, push down, you know? And then when he unfroze it, it kept the momentum prior to when it was frozen, so that's interesting. I wonder what other kind of, like, uses for that quirk he could, you know, have, like, can that be used on people? I'm guessing only inanimate objects, so that would be insanely powerful if he can just be like, you're frozen, you know? And then you just get everyone ready and surround them and unfreeze them and all that, but it's probably just inanimate objects, but I'm curious what kind of combat he could do with that if it is just inanimate objects, because I mean, you throw something, you freeze it, and then what? I guess you could set up traps, you could, like, you know, have stuff fired, you could, like, you know, fire bullets down into, like, an alleyway and then freeze them, and then lure the person into the alleyway or something, and then unfreeze them when they get into the into the line where the bullets would hit. But that be elaborate as hell. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of other uses where he can like. But if it is inanimate objects, can he use it on people's clothes? That would be insane. Like imagine if someone just froze all of your clothes in place so they couldn't move at all. They'd be able to move. They'd probably be able to activate their quirk and stuff depending on what their quirk is, but I wonder if there's a level of force that can be used to force them to move, or if they are 100% just locked there. He could definitely be a very good capture hero, I'd say. But we saw like the very furry person go in. I don't know, like we only saw him like hit someone though. I don't think we actually saw a quirk being used from him. Let's see, I can actually get back to this part real fast. Actually right here. A search warrant? Who cares? Bush needles. And then the doggy dude goes in. We saw like a couple slashes, and then he tackled someone. So yeah, I don't know if he's just strong or... Yeah, I don't know what he's able to do. But I really like Midoriya there at the end, how quick he moved. That's an awesome thing, because there have been times where he hesitated in the show, but there's other times where he's just on point, and he's right up in there, and the attack happened, and the two people that moved were Aizawa and Midoriya to save the people, and none of the other heroes, had that quick of a reaction. Obviously, it's possibly they did, but they just couldn't get there in time. And Midoriya was closer, and Aizawa had a scarf that he could throw. But I also like to think that it's just Midoriya's reaction time and just ready for anything kind of nature just push that to the next level, and he was just able to jump in there and do what needed to be done. Help that police officer. But that was really cool. I always love when that kind of stuff happens. I guess I'm gonna skip through the episode. I might be done, and my throat's starting to bother me a little bit, so I might cut it short a bit. Get all the... I liked the whole Mirio dialogue, too, between Night Eye and Mirio. That was great. I liked I liked how much Night Eye cares for Mirio and understands him, and, like, wants to see him grow and everything, so that's really cool. We haven't seen Night Eye, like, we've seen Night Eye stand up for the kids. We've seen him have, like, some very, I would say, very clever and smart discussions that make sense, if you think about them. But I wouldn't say motivational, Like, he had that talk after they couldn't save Eri about, haste makes waste and stuff like that. It was very... very good information that he gave, but I didn't feel like it was, motivational, like mentoring kind of stuff like what Aizawa and All Might does. But this episode, I really saw that as, Night Eye caring for Mirio and all that, and really wanting him to succeed and seeing him and his problems and understanding them and everything. And I really appreciated that. I really did like that. Yeah, I mean, I think I touched on a lot. I mean, the only thing I didn't talk about right now was, that I can think of, is the whole Overhaul's dad. He says, sorry, Pops is going to be loud. And he's all, like, hooked up to machines. But I don't know what that could mean. Like, I mean, my guess is that guy could be the previous head of the Shiei Hisaikai. But I don't know, like, why it's relevant that he's hooked up to that machine and still there, and seems like Overhaul's taking care of him in a way. I don't know. I don't know if the father's quirk is something, like, that's going to come up in the future, that could mean something, or what. I don't know. or maybe it's just showing like the human side of Overhaul, and that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to humanize him before we get into this fight, you know, because we still don't know really why Overhaul wants to do all this stuff. He said like, you know, heroes are sick. I guess it's possible that his dad was hurt by a hero, and that's why he's the way he is in this hospital bed. Maybe the hero had some kind of like poison kind of stuff that put him into this coma or something. I don't know. But he still somehow got away and didn't get arrested. And now he's just been stuck like this. I don't know. It's just a random thought. But, you know, maybe this is why Overhaul doesn't like heroes, is because his, you know, father was taken away from him at, you know, whatever age, however long he's been like this. And now he's, you know, wants to get revenge on heroes and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's very interesting. I wonder how that's going to come back into the story. But yeah, guys, I think that's really all I gotta say. My throat's starting to hurt a little bit from talking so much, so I'm gonna call it here and just start editing this episode so I can get it out for you guys tomorrow. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you did, you can also, you know, support the channel with Patreon as well. If you want to become a patron, you get access to, you know, for My Hero, it's only full length, but there's also early access for my other shows as well, and it helps me with what I do, and, you know, potentially could do this, you know, full-time eventually if I get enough support, which is, you know, a goal that I'd love to be able to do. I'd love to be able to do this for you guys more shows, more everything, you know. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.